As a singer or vocalist in a band, you have specific duties and responsibilities, but a lot of singers and vocalists completely neglect these responsibilities altogether, and it may be sabotaging your band. Are you one of these vocalists? Hey, and welcome to Music Space, where we help working musicians just like you learn how to quickly and easily make a living with your craft. So if you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. So this video is the second video that I'm doing on the job of different musicians in a band. And in this video, we are talking about vocalists. So as a singer or a vocalist, you have a very important role in a band. You are usually the person that's out front, and you're usually the face of the band. There's a reason that you are a part of what's called the front line in a band, and it's literally because you are on the front lines of the band. And that means that people see you first. And it also means that you are at the forefront of how people will perceive your band. And I mean this in multiple ways. So like if you are a vocalist who can't stay on key and sings off pitch and stuff like that, generally speaking, your entire band is going to look bad because of that. In the general audience's mind, they're not going to say, oh my God, they have such wonderful musicians, but the vocalist isn't that good. Now, of course, some people will, but generally speaking, your band as a whole will be made or perceived as a bad band. But it also has to do with your attitude and demeanor. Like if you're fun and lighthearted and things like that, your band will be perceived a certain way. Versus if you're like dry and dull and monotone and things like that, your band will be perceived another way. So since your role in the band is really important to how your band is perceived, you really have to be more mindful of how you do things like prepare, how you show up, how you perform, how you take responsibility and things like that. So what are some of the things that you can do to start meeting these responsibilities and be more professional? Well, I'm glad you asked. One thing that you as a vocalist can start doing off top is start taking care of your voice. Singers and vocalists in bands are notorious for not caring for their voices properly. They eat foods that cause mucus buildup, which of course affects the vocal cords in the throat. They're not mindful of things like seasonal changes and how those things may affect their vocal cords and how they sing. And just generally overall don't really put a lot of care or thought into caring for their vocal cords. When you are a vocalist, you have to think of your voice as an instrument, like a physical instrument, and you have to care for that instrument in the same way it would be if it were actually a physical instrument. Like if it's a guitar, you can't leave that guitar in certain climates for too long. You have to do things like care for it. You have to oil the strings. You have to replace the strings. You have to get, new electronics on the guitar and things like that. You have to constantly care for that instrument so that it maintains its efficacy. So as a vocalist or singer, you have to get to this level of care for your instrument. And just as a side note here, and this may be touchy for you, but that may mean you need to quit smoking. Now, right before we get to the next thing, if you're getting value out of this video so far, do me a quick favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on this video. Go ahead and do that now. That lets me know that you appreciate this content, and it lets me know what type of content I should make for you in the future. Now, also as a vocalist, you have got to start warming up your voice properly before you sing or perform. Did you know that it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to properly warm up your voice before you perform? I'm willing to bet that you probably didn't even know this. And if you did know it, it's probably something that you don't do on a regular basis. I bet that you show up for gigs and your warm-up is the few notes that you sing during your mic check, or the few notes that you hum out while you're getting dressed before the gig, or the lip buzzes you do for a few minutes. It's no wonder you tire out so quickly as a vocalist and you can't hit certain notes. As a singer or vocalist, you have to develop a routine that you use consistently, not only before your performances, but on a regular basis. Now, with that in mind, and in the interest of helping you with this, I have a very special treat for you. Simply because you're watching this video, I'm going to give you free access to my vocal range test and vocal warm-up series. This is a series of videos that will test your vocal range and tell you whether or not you are a soprano, alto, tenor, bass, or whatever. And it has professional warm-up exercises that you can use before your performances and on a regular basis to not only warm up your voice, but to train your ear. And again, it's completely free for you. All you have to do is go in the description of this video and the link to access it is there. Now next, as a vocalist, you have got to put some focus on being entertaining. I know. You're an introvert, you're shy, you feel more comfortable just standing behind the mic, or you feel that your vocal talent should be enough, and on and on. I've heard all of these reasons and excuses before as to why, certain vocalists just tend to not be entertaining or want to be entertaining. But the fact of the matter is, you are in show business. And if you want to have a competitive edge, if you want to be a professional, if you want to make money like a professional musician, then you are going to have to learn how to be entertaining, period. Now, how you personally entertain is subjective, and it can depend on multiple factors like the genre of music that you do and things like that. So like, for example, for a pop audience, you would probably entertain them differently than you would if you were sitting in front of an audience as an acoustic guitar audience where you're just sitting on a stool or something. So what you can do is just do a Google search or YouTube search of some Vegas artists or the artists that perform in Vegas, get some tips and tricks of how they perform and how they entertain, and even do so with some of your favorite musical artists. Look at some of their concerts and see how they entertain their audiences. But this is definitely something that you need to put a focus on, being entertaining. Now also, you have got to start learning your lyrics. Now, I'm completely aware that there are some arguments and debates over whether or not vocalists and musicians should use their iPads on stage, and specifically vocalists using their iPads on stage to read lyrics while they're singing and performing. And there are some fair points on both sides of the argument. But that debate is honestly not even a thing for professional singers and vocalists. It's simple for them. They learn and memorize their lyrics, and they have iPads or tablets and things like that, or folders that they use for cues. But the problem is with a lot of vocalists who sing with bands is they use their iPads and tablets as a crutch. They don't take the time to learn the lyrics and memorize the lyrics properly, and they just perform on stage literally reading an iPad or tablet. And the issue with this is when your head is down in the lyrics, reading the lyrics to, your song that you're performing, you can't do and focus on what we just talked about, and that is be entertaining. Like, think about it for a second. If you've ever been to one of those like hibachi grill restaurants like Benihana or, a place like that where the chef comes out and they do all of the tricks and stuff on the grill, think about what that would look like if that chef came out and they were reading an iPad, reading instructions on how to do those tricks as they were doing them. What would that look like to you? It would probably look at best pretty unprofessional, right? So as a singer, as a vocalist, you have to start doing your due diligence and learn your lyrics properly. Now also, as a singer and vocalist, you have to learn that you are a song leader. And this may not apply so much if you are a background vocalist, but it does apply in some respects as well, because you have to learn what vocalists do. They lead songs. So it would do you really well as a vocalist, especially as a lead vocalist, to learn to lead and command the band that you're playing with. And this is especially the case if your band performs songs in like a loose format. It's great when you as a vocalist can cue the band to do stuff like repeat the chorus or loop the verse twice, or, do the breakdown, or do the popular, hit me one time, hit me two times type thing. That's really cool to be able to do as a vocalist, and it's something that you can even involve in your entertaining. But it's an art that you have to learn and practice. Unfortunately, singers who haven't taken the time to learn this and try to do it always end up messing up. They'll try to cue the band to do like a breakdown a second or two before the breakdown is supposed to happen, and then the band misses it and it's like, what the heck just happened? And it creates this weird vibe that just kind of throws everything off. But nevertheless, take some time as a vocalist to learn to lead and cue the band with certain things that you may want to do in a song. But the question is for you. Are you a singer or a vocalist? If so, what are some things that you think that vocalists need to concentrate and focus on more? Jump down in the comment section and let me know your thoughts on that. I definitely want to hear them. And hey, did you know that there are a bunch of free resources that I put together just for you? Everything from an ebook that will give you 10 tips on making more money as a musician, to contracts that you can use to book high-paying gigs, and set list templates, and much, much more. And again, it's all free and it's in the description of this video, so be sure to jump down and check those out. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope that it was helpful for you as a singer, as a vocalist, or as an aspiring singer or vocalist to, learn some of these tips and learn what it takes to be a professional singer. And here are some other videos that you can check out right now.